Sometimes he would try to dodge certain questions, but ultimately I used the book as a blueprint. So whenever a question wouldn't get answered, I said, well, the book said X, Y, and Z. And then at that point, he kind of went along with the, what was written in the book.
Show your face. Show your face, please, with sugar on top.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, before we get into this video, please make sure you head on down to Instagram and follow us on our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _. We're able to be a little more explicit, a little more uncensored, and share content freely without running the risk of having our channel terminated. So, once again, make sure you head on down to Instagram and follow us on our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _. We're almost at 100,000 subscribers. So if you like this video, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. Now let's get into what you guys came here to see. Now, at this point, I know most of y'all already heard about Keefe D, where a majority of you may call him stupid for his actions and things he has said that ultimately landed him at the top suspect in Tupac's murder, in which now he's being charged for it and may end up doing the rest of his life incarcerated. Make no mistake that Keefe D played a role in his own demise, but today I want to talk about also DJ Vlad and his involvement in the case as well. Yes, Keefe D had no business going on not just Vlad's platform, but other platforms running his mouth about Tupac's murder. But what intrigued me the most was the way Vlad went on Piers Morgan's platform and explained the tactics he used to get incriminating information from Keefe D. Even when Keefe D tried to avoid answering certain questions, Vlad admits that he used certain tactics to get an answer out of him anyway using his book. Meaning that he had no regard for his safety, no regard for him saying anything crazy, because he feels that Keefe D already wrote a book about it, so why not say it on his platform as well? And although that may be true, right? We've learned that law enforcement sat down with Keefe D back in 2009 and they gave him a proffer. With the agreement of the proffer, he admitted his involvement and everybody that had involvement in it, but they couldn't use it against him because the proffer protected him. So my question now is, what was the reason they decided to not charge him back in 2009, but wait 14 years later in 2023 to use the same information against him when they could have been arresting him? Now, is it because maybe they feel he was trolling or making them look bad because he admitted his involvement in his book and went on a media run doing interviews, but they couldn't do nothing to him? Now, if he did receive a proffer, then they shouldn't be able to arrest him, and if they do, that's just another proof of the corruption that goes on within the system. I know everyone wants justice for Tupac as well as myself, but we can't be selective with the justice we seek, because if we allow a little, then a lot can be done amongst others in the future, whether it's you, me, your family, anybody. Now, for y'all that's confused about what a proffer actually is, a proffer, which is short for proffer agreement, is an agreement in which a suspect agrees to provide potentially useful information in an investigation, but the statements made generally cannot be used as evidence against the suspect. In 2009, Keefe D was granted that proffer, so when people say that Keefe D is stupid for writing a book and telling his involvement and doing interviews, well, it's because the officers told him that he was able to do it, right? Not in those literal terms, but once you get a proffer, they're not supposed to touch you. This is why we can't just go off of what we hear. It's always good to do your own research before you start judging someone. No one's bringing the fact that he had a proffer agreement granted to him, so everybody's just saying, oh, he's a fool for going on platforms and admitting that he did this or he was involved in that. But it's a reason why he did it or thought he was able to do it. Now, fast forward. Here's where my problem lies within all of this when it comes to Vlad. If you look at DJ Vlad's track record, one thing that's undeniable is the amount of people that have been on his platform, and you realize that most of them are either dead or in jail. And even if you want to deny that, you can't deny that a lot of DJ Vlad's interviews end up being a part of these artists' cases whenever they get indicted and used against them for evidence. And why, you ask? Well, for the same tactics that DJ Vlad already explained. Check these videos out.
I know you've studied this case for so long, and these interviews that you did, with Keefe D, they've turned out to be extremely significant in this investigation, leading in fact to him being arrested and indicted. When you heard that news, how did you feel?
Well, I mean, the goal wasn't really to get anyone arrested. It was really just to get the truth of the matter. The story about Orlando Anderson killing Tupac, I've known since around 2007. So this was essentially the worst kept secret in LA. Everyone knew about it, but there were no arrests, there was no convictions, there was no anything, there was no actual proofs. There was a lot of conspiracy theories around it. So around 2008, when I first heard the Keefe confession tapes that Greg Kading got, then I found out there was a book that was about to come out. I got a hold of Keefe D and his co-writer, and we scheduled an interview, and we just went from there.
Maybe it's just me, y'all, but the way he nonchalantly carries on and speaks on things like this as if no one is affected, I think that's what irks me the most. Because a lot of us go out of our way as bloggers or YouTubers to show respect to artists or whatever individuals that we are interviewing. And it's funny because when we don't, what's the first thing an individual would do? They say things like, I bet, watch when I catch you, or whatever threats that they make. But when these other platforms do it, quote unquote other, it's never the same energy. But anyway, check out this other clip. Watch this.
He appears to have incriminated himself in this interview, the last one. Did you believe he was doing that as you interviewed him?
Well, I think that he believed that he had a level of immunity when he did the proffer agreement. I think at the time he was saying that he had cancer, so maybe he didn't think he had much time to live. So he was just kind of letting it loose at that point. But, it was a little bit crazy that he actually sat down and we did everything. And when I asked him about it, sometimes he would try to dodge certain questions, but ultimately I used the book as a blueprint. So whenever a question wouldn't get answered, I said, well, the book said X, Y, and Z. And then at that point, he kind of went along with what was written in the book.
So he pretty much knew what he was doing and was well aware of the questions he was asking for the reasons he asked, and still pursued to ask the questions and use the book as a tactic to get it out of Keefe D. Now, to play devil's advocate, Keefe D is his own man, and any information volunteered is on him. Vlad didn't put a weapon to his head and make him say anything, but his little manipulative moves like this that, he's describing, that only makes me wary about his actions with Keefe D, but also with everyone else he coerced into saying certain things that are incriminating on his platform. Y'all follow me? Or how about how Vlad was called out for interviewing BTB Savage and his mother blamed Vlad for focusing on more of the shooting he was involved with prior instead of the music related questions that he was actually there for. We also did a video on that, so if you want, go down to the comment section and click the link that we pinned below so y'all can check that video out as well. So in a nutshell, we can't blame Vlad 100% for what's taking place, but how long are artists going to go, on his platform and getting them interviews used against them in court when they get indicted or they get shipped away before they realize what's going on? These are the same guys that wouldn't allow any urban platform to ask certain questions, so why do we constantly let these guys do it as well? Adam22 just did a recent interview with Lil Reese and Tay Savage, and he claimed to have a video of Lil Reese with a girl and says that he know it was him doing, whatever they was doing because of his quote unquote stroke. Right? He said he knows that stroke game anywhere. Come on. We let these guys get away with way too much. Normally, if someone said something incriminating or something weird like that in the interview, the first thing we'll do as urban bloggers is try to edit it out. Or sometimes an artist or whoever's being interviewed will contact us and say, hey, can you please take this or edit this out? And out of respect, we do it. But you have guys such as Vlad or Adam22 that don't care and put it all out because of the shock value involved in the clip. Now, JG Ruger and Adam22 went through a similar situation recently when Ruger would say that he contacted Adam22 on not putting something out, and Adam would make a whole Instagram story on why he still put it out anyway and totally disregarded what Ruger had said because he don't think that the interview or whatever he asked him was that bad. Right? Total disregard for the person he was interviewing, total disregard on how they felt or whatever the case may be, and these guys are getting away with it. All right. So like I said, y'all jump in the comments. Let me know what y'all feel about this. Is Vlad wrong, or maybe he's not? You know, some people feel, well, Vlad is just doing his job. And like I said, I get it. You know, as journalists, it just is what it is. If you decide to say something on a platform, I understand it. But it is a certain type of biasness, if that makes any sense. You know, when it comes to bloggers and who we decide to say certain things with and not, or who we decide to make threats to. It's a lot. Y'all jump in the comments. Let me know how y'all feel. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'm going to keep on dropping. And I'm out.